morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Joe, Monday morning podcast brought to you by Eagle Flight Productions.
Go ahead and grab yourselves a cup of Joe and listen to today's topics, the weird news stories, and a little bit of advice of how to be more productive.
All right, well, let's go ahead and hop into it, man.
Let's begin now.
So today's first topic is actually on customer service and our worst service experience, the best experience, and most awkward. But we're going to go ahead and start with the worst service experience. So what stories do you have on that, Jacob?
Well, I'm going to tell this one from being the guy offering customer service. So what happened was, and I've never been a bad customer service representative, I don't think. I've had my moments. But I'm working at a grocery store. I'm not going to name it, but it's a big one. And I see this guy, and he's standing in my checkout aisle, and he's just looking at the candy. He doesn't have anything. Then I see this lady walking by and working there. If you see someone looking for a place to check out, you have to say, I can get you over here. So I'm like, ma'am, I can get you right here. And she starts walking over, and as she does, the guy getting the candy grabs a bag of M&Ms and throws them on the belt. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to get his stuff real quick. It'll take literally 30 seconds, and then I'll get to your basket. And she had 2 baskets full of stuff. I mean, she had a lot of food and just a lot. And she's like, no, you called me over first, so I should be the one to get service first. And I was like, well, he's got a bag of M&Ms. It's seriously, boom, give me some cash, go through it. So I'm checking his stuff out, and she's like, you know, it's people like him, and she's talking about the guy online, who make this world a bad place. You're just rude and disrespectful, and I bet your mama didn't raise you right, all this stuff. And she's just digging at this guy, and you can see him just getting angrier and angrier. And I'm like, oh god, this is really happening to me. And this was like, I think my second month working at this place. I'm like, this is happening to me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And he's just,
Wait, how long ago was this?
a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Before I was in college. So yeah, about a year and a half ago. And, you know, he's just building up, getting mad. His wife is with him, and she's like, baby, calm down, calm down. And Lay's like, I feel real bad for you having to be with such a piece of shit. And the guy was like,
Jesus.
Fuck! And he smashes the credit card reader and breaks it.
Holy cow!
And she was like, I bet you just hit your wife, don't you? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, fuck, fuck. And he's not like confronting the woman, he's just yelling at the credit card thing. And I'm like, if you can go ahead and just hit the green button, put in your PIN number.
he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, screaming as he hits each button, and his wife's like, oh god, here we go again. And I'm like, I'm sorry about that. So
again?
What?
I said again.
What'd I say?
You said that she goes, oh, here we go again. Like, this is...
Yeah, she said that, and so I'm like, okay, so this is regular. And, you know, he obviously has anger issues. I mean,
right.
You know, but the thing is, the lady who is antagonizing him doesn't stop there. She keeps going, and I can't remember exactly what she says. I just remember she was digging in, you know, saying some really mean stuff, being vulgar, making these sly comments. And so, somehow his payment goes through. And I'm like, here's your M&Ms. And he's like, fucking bullshit. And he's walking out, and he opens up his bag of M&Ms, and they fly everywhere. And he's like, fuck. In the middle of the store, everybody's looking at me like I did something. Everybody's looking at him like, holy crap, what did he do to this guy? And
that's
like,
awesome.
he just stomps the M&Ms on his way out, just not even caring. He's just like, just screaming. And then the lady says to me, she's like, I feel real bad for you having to deal with such a terrible customer. I was like, you were the one who antagonized him over $1.82. Are you kidding me?
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like the best customer service experience.
No, it was the worst because my managers afterwards were like, what did you do to him? And I was like, I sold him candy. And this lady was being a bitch. That's what happened. And... you know, of course, the lady who I had next, she just kept going on and on and on. And I was like, look, I don't care. You just made my day worse. I've been working for an hour today, and I'm already dealing with this crap. I don't want to hear it from you. You're You're a turd, and you're mean, and you're rude, and you need to just stop. Just stop. God, that was the worst thing. And then, before I got questioned by my managers, the floor manager who's below them, he's a very handy guy. He comes up and he grabs the broken credit card thing, whips out his pocket knife, unscrews it, and cuts some wires and rewires it. And he's like, "All right, you're good to go, boss." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Whoa.
Like, this guy, he did that all the time. Self-checkout would break down. I'd be like, "Dude, self-checkout's working now." And they're like, 50 people, and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's your fault." And I'm like, oh my God. And he'd go, hold on, check this out. And he'd go, cut a whole bunch of wires, strip them with his knife and his teeth and shit. And he'd rewire it. And then he'd be like, "Ma'am, can I see your card real quick?" He'd go, and he'd go, "Yep, it's good." And I'm like, how the hell does this guy do that? He does not get paid enough to know all this.
No kidding.
But what about you? What's your worst customer service experience?
Oh my gosh. I've only had. Actually, okay.
Like, as a
I'm gonna
customer
include-
or as a worker?
As a worker. I was gonna talk about the real job I had working at a warehouse, but I couldn't really think of any. But now that I think about it, there was one time, because I used to dance competitively, that the owner of the studio, her grandson was doing a dance and a talent show with some of his friends. So the friends' moms hired me to choreograph the dance, right? And so I go in to choreograph it, and one of the kids' moms, like, okay, in each dance room, all the dancers go in the freaking dance room, the studio,
Right.
and then there's a big window, and the parents stay on the outside of the room and watch through the window. This mom refused to do that.
What the hell?
She's like, well, I want to see them in person. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, it's the rules. It's the freaking it prevents distractions. And she's like, well, I want to watch him because we're paying for this. So this is what I'm like, okay, fine.
You're paying for what you offer. What the?
That's right. So she came in. I was like, okay, whatever. And so I start teaching them, and I'm just doing this little simple move because they don't actually dance. It was just a goofy talent show thing.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Here, wait, let's do this."
Oh my God.
I was like, "Do what?" And she stands up and gets in front of the class. She's like, "How about we do this move?" And she does like a stupid little dance move that this white mom thinks she can do because
she got on her hands, stuck her feet on the wall, and started twerking.
That's right. She did the walls working.
Yes.
But no, I just. And I was like, we could do that because I'm not gonna tell the mom no, sit down.
Dude, I would have.
Yeah, I know you would have. Not me. I wish I would have. That'd have been awesome.
Yeah.
But no, I was just like, okay, we can do that. So she goes and sits down, and apparently I run through the dance, and when I get to her move, she goes, "Oh, you're not doing it right." I was like, "Oh, really, bitch? Because I'm the dancer, and I compete. Okay,
What
I
are you,
go
12?
out against goddamn." Just national champions, and I win. That's what I do. And you're telling me I'm not doing your stupid
And you
50-year-old
do what?
dance move.
You dance for your husband at night, and he falls asleep. That's what happens. That's what
Right.
you do.
She dances, and he's like, "I'm watching the game." There's nothing you can do to teach me and make me better. I'm sorry. And she just comes up, corrects me, and I mean that's basically it. She just did this over and over again, taught a different move. Probably 70% her dance, and they paid me to do it, so that was cool. But still,
I hate that. When
no.
people say I'm paying for this, I should get what I want. Like, did you read the contract? Like, this is my service. You're paying for it, so you do what I tell you. You're receiving the full experience.
That's like paying for Pokemon, like on the DS. And then going, wait a sec, I want to be able to jump whenever I want to. And then getting pissed off with Nintendo and Game Freak for not making you able to jump at any game.
No, I think it's more like you go skydiving and you tell the skydiving instructor, I didn't pay to learn how to do it. I paid to just jump out and pull the cord on my own. Like, okay, you go ahead and do it.
Or she goes up there and tells the instructor how to skydive.
Yeah. Actually, I read on the YouTube that
you read on the YouTube.
Yeah. What did you watch the video? No, it was in the comment section. And they said
he's like, all right, you're gonna jump out, and then you put your arms and legs out to slow down your fall. And she's like, actually, you're supposed to dive straight down
and never pull the cord because it's safer that way. That's what the comment said. Like, okay, so That being said,
Anyone who said that to me, I'd be like, go for it.
you get fired so fast.
I know.
I'd push them out. And let
Oh,
them die.
wait. No, she would go and die. And then they'd be like, dude, what did you do? And I'll be like, I don't know. I told her what to do. I mean, whose word are they going to take? Mine or the person who's dead?
Well, you're gonna have to use her for a testimony, I guess. So that being said, what's your best experience, either as a customer or as a representative?
Honestly, probably as a customer, going to Whataburger
Oh my gosh.
at home,
Mhm.
like in the Woodlands,
Yeah.
after having not been for months, because you know the Whataburger by campus is the worst Whataburger in the world.
Dude, the one in the area near Waco that we talked about the other day that you just don't want to go to, that I grew up near, has the best Whataburger in Waco.
Okay, well, we're gonna start going to that one because
Oh, it's
every
fantastic.
time I've been to this one, it takes an hour to get my food. They get mad
It
because I
happened to you in
tell them.
Starbucks too.
Oh, I know, but I don't want to talk. It's just going to work me up, and I don't want to do that. So I go to this Whataburger, and this is like, oh god, wait, no, we're on the best section now. Never mind, that's a story for another time. So it just know that the Whataburger that we go to, because it's closest to campus, is just terrible. They're mean, they're slow, they don't cook the food all the way. They're buttholes altogether. And if if anyone disagrees, then I will say they're just that way towards me, and I have like 4
So
or
your
5
best
eyewitnesses.
experience
Was
at Whataburger.
when I came home to the Woodlands at the best Whataburger I've ever been to, and some dude, and I'm going to be really honest, I think he might have had might have been a little mentally slow or
Okay, challenge.
disabled,
Gotcha.
but he had like the best freaking attitude ever of anyone ever. He was like, hey,
man.
what can I get you today? And I was like, can I just get a number 2 with mustard, pickles, and cheese, please? What a size? The fries and water. And he's like, absolutely, that's gonna be $9, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, thanks, dude. And I come out here, and he, takes my money, and he reads me my receipt, and then he just starts talking to me, just starts saying words. And I was
There
like,
you
"Good
go.
shit." I was thinking he probably has a job to do, but he's just chatting it up with me. He's like, how's your day been? I was like, it's been awesome.
You know what? There's
now,
a guy
because of
like
you,
that.
man.
There's a guy like that works at the McDonald's near my house. I went one time and he was just being nice to everybody, and the manager just came by and they're like, you need to stop talking to them like, and was just being mean to him, and I was like, hey.
Like, yeah, no,
He-
I mean,
he's-
these people, you're not doing your, shut up. They are making me want to come back and buy more food. Like, that guy, literally, I was having a normal day, just a mediocre day, okay?
Yeah.
But that dude, you know what? No, I didn't get a burger. I went and got breakfast food. And I remember I was blown away because it was like 2 at night, and this dude was just full of energy and super nice. And it made my night. And then I just stuffed my body with high-octane crap and felt like shit and then went to bed. But, this guy was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think enough people are that way because it is discouraged, quite frequently to be
Chatty.
not personable, but it's like, you say your script, you say, oh, how are you doing, nice to meet you, or not nice to meet you, how you doing, oh, you're visiting, good, have a good time, whatever. But I think more people need to be, personable if they have the chance to, and I don't think that should be discouraged because that can actually lead to more sales and, more return customers.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally every time I've gone back to that Whataburger, I've hoped that guy is the one taking my order.
Yeah. For me, I'm trying to think of my best customer experience. Just, it's so basic, and I feel bad for telling a basic story right now, but I really don't have any amazing stories about this. Because I've always, as a customer, I've always gotten basic service. None of it has been amazing. I've had terrible service before. And as a worker, I've never had, someone who's just that amazing to work with. But they're just those people who, they come in to the store, and they're just nice, and you're like, oh, we don't carry that anymore, or we don't have that in stock. And they're like, oh, well, I'll just, I'll come back next week, and, if you got it, I'll take 2 or something. It's just those kind of people who are actually nice and understanding that, the worker is not necessarily the one who's at fault when they discontinue an item on the corporate level.
Right.
You get a lot of people who are like, why would they do that? It's because I like it. And I'm like, literally, you're the only person that likes this and the only person who's asked
You're the
for it.
only one who likes the skunk spray scented body lotion. I don't understand why you want that.
And for me, it's just, when a customer's not like snippy or over conversational. Over conversational is weird, but when they're
Right.
just nice. Now I'm gonna go and discuss my most awkward experience, and I actually have two. I'll see if I have time for the second one. The first one I think I've told you, Ben. I'm working at the job I have now, which I've had over a year, and as I've said before, I sell, primarily it's women's cosmetics and skincare,
Right.
and there's also men's items too, but not as common. This grandma, she is a grandma because I confirmed it. Not saying that because she's old. She's walking back and forth outside the store, and she peeks in. She walks past, disappears, then she walks past again. She looks in, kind of lingers for a second. She finally comes in after 2 or 3 passes, and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine. Hey, how you doing? Can I help you find anything?" She's like, "Oh no, my granddaughter," and I was like, "Okay, whatever that means." And I'm laughing, thinking,
Oh no, granddaughter.
I don't know if I've
sure.
told my boss about this yet. So when she listens, she's gonna be surprised to hear the story if I haven't told her.
Okay.
And the lady, she walks around a bit, and she doesn't even look at the product. She just watches me as she walks around, and then she just beelines to my desk, and she's like, "So, this is an Avon store, huh?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm, yeah." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Can I help you again with anything?" And she goes, "Are you in high school?" And I kind of scratch my beard. Like, do you think I'm in high school? And I go, "No." And this was a year ago. And I was like, "I graduated last year." And she's like, "Oh, okay, so you go to school here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I go to Baylor. I have a film major." She's like, "Oh, that's really neat. You run a business here?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't." And she's like, "Wow, you're really making it for a young man." And I'm like, "Okay, sure. I guess I'll act like I run a business. Whatever. I won't tell you otherwise." And she's like, my granddaughter plays softball." I was like, "Oh, is she in college?" "No, she's a senior in high school." I was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Yep." And just kind of stares at me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "She's single." I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." I'm like, "Well, and that's something. I'm not." She's like,
That's awesome.
She's like, "Okay," and she leaves. Then she comes back, and this time she has 2 little boys and this girl with her, who I assume is the granddaughter she was talking about. And then I'm like, these must be her grandsons. And she walks in, beelines to my. Before she beelines to my table, actually, she talks to her granddaughter, and she does this trying to be sly and secretive head nod towards me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Your
She-
granddaughter is there?
Yeah, she came back with her granddaughter and 2 grandsons. And before she comes back to my table, she's talking to her granddaughter, and then, nodding towards me and with her head, like I don't notice it. And then she walks over and she's like, "I'm not going to say anything to my granddaughter yet, but, that's her right there. Her name's Brittany." And I was like, "You're not going to tell me about your grandsons? I mean, they exist too, you know?" She's like, "Well, I was just wondering if maybe you could, go on a date with her." And I was like,
What?
And she goes, "Could you go on a date with her? I mean, she's a senior, and you're obviously very successful." And I was like, "What?"
What is this?
Do you know-
the freaking Dark Ages where you have to
I was
marry
like,
into successful
I give you
families?
2 goats for your daughter. No, no, I only take 1 goat. No, that's not what this is. And I'm like, oh my god. I go, I am in a relationship, and even if I wasn't, I don't date people from high school. And she's like, "Oh, she's really, really sweet, though." And her granddaughter's like, "Can we go?" And she wasn't a terrible looking person. She seemed nice, but I was like, poor thing. Her grandmother's trying to sell her to me. And inside, while I'm working, baffled. So baffled by that. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know how to nicely say it, because most times I'm pretty I don't really give a shit what you think or say. But this time I was like, I'm going to probably give this grandma a heart attack, or she's going to freak out and kill me if I say no. So I got to be careful. It was so weird and so uncomfortable.
Honestly, I would have like just called the granddaughter over and be like, "Listen, this is what the grandmother wants, and we're just gonna pretend we talked for a little bit." And then you're gonna tell your grandmother I'm gay or something, and she's gonna freak out. And then
I
she's
should have
gonna
said, "Do you
never
see
come
where I'm working? Do you think I want to date your granddaughter? There's literally pink all around me."
Perfect.
Anyways, what's your most awkward one?
Okay, my most awkward one was at the warehouse. So I worked at a company called Inline Services, and this was a pigging company, which is like we build these things called pigs, and basically what they do is they just clean out pipes of like all kinds of sizes, anywhere from little like freaking half an inch wide to actual sewer mains. And
Right.
so around this time, we had recently built a second warehouse that we were going to use to further stock up, so we didn't have to like make or / order more pigs, and then it was basically so we could spend less money. We just have stocks whenever we needed it. We didn't always have to spend money. So when we do this, though, we're not allowed to let people in because they're not really allowed to know what we have and what we don't have, because that's just competition. We don't want to have like another company come in and see something we have that they don't, and then they replicate it, because that could just be awful. So we keep our bay doors closed all the time, unless we're getting delivery. So I'm there, and I'm working with 4 guys, my boss and then 3 other guys. Now, my boss and one of the guys are going, "Hey, we're driving to downtown because we have a company we're going to do deals with." So they leave. So it's just me and 2 other guys. And then one of them goes on his lunch break, and I'm like, "Okay, fine." So another one is like, "Oh, my wife just called. There's a problem at home. I'm going to go and I'll be right back." And
They
I'm
all
like, okay.
ditched.
So they all just bolted. And so I'm there by myself, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to be cool. I just get to like sit around and do like nothing."
Yeah.
Because it's lunchtime, and it's just no one's doing deliveries, no one's coming. It's dead hour. So I'm sitting there, and the bay doors are like 2 feet open, and so there's still some air in there because that place gets super hot in the summer.
Right.
And I just see like 4 feet just walking around out there, just 4 feet, 2 people, and I'm like, "What is this?" And I open the door and peek out. And they're dudes, I mean, straight up wearing like button-up shirts with the symbol of a different pigging company on there.
Oh
just
my
like
God.
looking around. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing. We just wanted to, just looking." I was like, "At what?" Like, we're just looking. I was like, "But what are you looking at?" I mean, this is a different company. You're not really allowed to be here. He goes, "What's in the warehouse?" I'm like, "Wares."
Drugs.
I don't know
Wares.
what to tell you.
It's a house of wares, man. What do you expect?
And he's like, "Is it pigs?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're Inline Services pigging company." And they start walking to the new warehouse, which is totally off limits because we're putting way kinds of new stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
So and the doors are kind of open, and so I have to like full sprint over there, slide under the door, close it, and then like walk out of another door and like shut it and lock it.
You went straight zombie apocalypse mode right
No,
there.
straight up, I like bolted past these guys. I probably
Holy
looked
cow.
insane. They're like, they got a bomb in there, when really it's just you're not allowed to see these foam disc pigs. And I come back out, and they were gone.
What happened?
And I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God." When I went into the second warehouse, they went into the first one. And so I walk into the first one, and I'm like looking through all the bays, and no one's there. And they had disappeared out of nowhere. They just left. They're like, "Well, he's gonna run, and I'm too old and fat for that, so he wins." But it was beyond awkward, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah, that was like some Breaking Bad stuff right there.
Yeah, they're like,
Let me see
"We
your
want to
recipe.
see all of your products." I'm like, "Or you could go and make your own, butthole."
Yeah. So that's it for the first topic, which was customer service experiences. So if you want, go ahead and tweet us your customer service experiences, whether you are a worker or you are a customer. And you can tweet those to @morningjoe_show. And next up, we have the news segment. So. Alright, guys, so today in the news, we only have one story today because I just felt this alone was enough to take us through the week and through Monday. What the heading is, and again, Huffington Post has great articles, so they're my primary source for these things.
Perfect.
And this is the headline. If this is your weed, police in New Jersey would like you to claim it. And the picture with it is a box of tons of marijuana. Just a lot
Sweet.
of marijuana. So this is what happened. So your average Joe who probably listens to our podcast, he's in his house, drinking his Morning Joe Monday morning, listening to the Morning Joe podcast. And he hears a knock at the door, and he's like, that's really strange. And he goes outside, and he looks down, and there's a package. And he's like, wow, I never get mail. This is weird. And he picks it up, and he's like, oh, I don't recognize, who mailed this. I don't know who this person is. So naturally, he takes it to the police instead of opening it. He's like, police, someone put this, mailed me this, and I don't know what's in it. Can y'all open it? Yep. So the police open it, looking for a packaging slip, I don't know what they were trying to find on it, but they were looking for a packing slip. And instead, I found 50 pounds of weed inside this box. Huge box. That is a lot of marijuana, guys. That's a felony offense, I think.
You think?
Yeah, that's a lot. And
dude, that's so much. Like, let's be real. Like, just plants in general do not weigh a lot. Like,
take leaves, and pretty much weigh 50 pounds of leaves, or something like that.
Wait, okay, so this guy just had a package mailed to his door. 50. Do you realize how big this package must have been?
I feel like.
And he was like, well, okay, and I'm going to take this somewhere. You didn't smell it either?
I think the postman mailed it to the wrong house. I think that's what happened. So he takes it, and so the police are like, oh shit, we got 50 pounds of weed. Well, guess we're going to use social media and try to get someone to claim it as theirs. So they've been using social media. Because someone's just
going to see cops standing next to a 50-pound box of weed, and then the person's going to raise their hand and go, oh, that's mine, police officers.
But then imagine how many people you have on social media who are like, oh, if no one's claiming it, fuck, I will.
Dude, with cops standing next to it.
No. They took a picture of the box. They don't know it's cops. They're trying to get it all around social media to actually, like, monitor and catch the culprit, like saying, oh god, that's mine, it went to the wrong house or something.
Oh my god. Like, that's just that still sounds like a stupid plan to me. I mean, there are people that are like they'll be smoking weed, and then they'll get caught by the police with a bag of weed next to them, and the officer goes, what's this? And they go, no, it's not mine. Like, they say it's not mine while they're stoned with a joint in their hand and the bag of weed next to them. They're like, it's not mine. You think you're going to post a 50-pound box of weed on social media, and this guy's going to go, oh, yeah, it's mine, officer. There's no way.
I guess they must think that anybody who does that just must be
New Jersey puts out all kinds of stupid people. You have the people from Jersey Shore, and now cops that are posting pictures of themselves with a 50-pound box of weed going, is this yours? What's up? If it is,
come pick it up at the New Jersey police station.
No, they're like telling you to claim it like it's a freaking internet pop-up prize.
Yeah. Shoot all the joints and win your free marijuana. No, I want to keep track
your marijuana
of this.
Here.
I want to follow this. I want to follow this story and see what happens. Because for all we know, by the time the guy claims it, it's all going to be smoked by the police force. I mean, let's be real.
Oh yeah, like you know how if you find hard drugs or something and you turn it into the police, they actually pay you as a reward for how much you give them. We all know that's just their version of a legal transaction of like coke and meth and weed.
Shoot, I'm gonna start buying drugs and selling them to the police.
Like, no, but seriously, think about it. Like, what do they do with the weed they get? Do they just
they track down the manufacturer?
Let's just send it back to Mexico, I guess. Or coke or meth.
Send the weed back to Cali. Send the coke back to South America. Let's stop all this nonsense.
Okay, then where do they send the
meth back to Detroit? Yeah.
Because Detroit actually has a meth organization,
Yes.
Meth Inc., Meth Incorporated.
No.
Like they actually have corporations there.
Send the meth back to Detroit. The guns back to Chicago. Let's stop all this. Okay. So that's that, guys. I don't. Who would fall for that? I think they're hoping that they've lost so many brain cells. They're like, oh god, I forgot to pick my weed up. I gotta go. Let me Google Maps this. Oh, the police station. I feel like that's wrong, but I'm gonna go anyways. Hey man, can I get my weed? Tased.
Just be casual. Just be casual.
Yeah, they won't know it's you, man. As long as you just act casual and ask politely, you'll get it back. No, I want to follow that story. Find out what happened.
I feel so sorry that the people of New Jersey are represented by these stupid articles and stupid TV shows.
It's almost as bad as Florida, man.
There's no way they're actually right. There's no way they're actually all like this. It's just New Jersey citizens are like, dude, what the fuck? Like first Jersey Shore, and now we have a retarded police department.
So that's all I have to say. Is just come on, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is squirrels again.
Oh my god.
Alright.
They're getting frisky now, man. So topic 2 is squirrels again. And this
Now, if you don't remember last time, guys, let me explain real quick. Last time we discussed how they're creating an armed forces, and since they do technically have the right to form a militia, they are doing so. And you need to be careful because what they do essentially is they track you down, flash their nuts to you, and they are learning how to climb flat wall surfaces. So remember that. Continue, Ben.
Okay, now squirrels are openly just being nude and they're sexualizing themselves.
Yeah, squirrels are learning sexualization. They are part of the industry.
No, straight up. Dude, the other day, okay, everyone listening, the other day, Jacob and I and our friend Brenna were all just, were we going to the sub for some panda or something?
Yeah, we were going to go get sodium levels and get fat. That's what we were doing.
That's right, we were going to just eat until our blood clotted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were going, and on this little stone bench, there was a squirrel standing straight up. And by straight up, I mean perfect flat angle in the spine.
Straighter than I stand.
Completely perpendicular to the ground. I mean, its feet in the ground.
But it wasn't
made
on
a
the ground.
90-degree angle.
It was on like a
it was
bench.
on the bench. It was on the bench. But what I'm saying is it was like the body of the squirrel and the bench made a perfect 90-degree angle. Okay? And this squirrel had its front paws up by its nipples, or at least in the location of where human nipples would be, and it was rubbing them in circles.
It was just, and I do that.
And, listen, everyone. This is not a made-up story, okay? This is, I mean, this is real.
We were freaking out.
I was mind fucked, guys. I mean, we saw this and we all just froze, and we were like, shh, everyone, quiet, everyone.
We were trying to grab our cameras
and we were like pulling out our phones. It's like just Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, SEAL Team 6.
We weren't even that close
slowly as we could. Oh, no. We were like a good 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get a picture. And of course, as soon as we put our phones up, this thing just breaks Mach 1 and just fucking runs like an asshole. It made this stupid, unbelievable story, and then it basically said, no one's going to believe you, and then ran. It was bullshit. I was so pissed. It was probably the most majestic, awkward, but still incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
So essentially, not only has squirrels developed weapons of mass destruction, and has started forming an armed militia, but they're also waging psychological warfare upon our people of this great nation.
They're trying to, it's like they're trying to flash us, and it's like, imagine a guy. Like, you know how like in New York, I guess, because New York is full of flashers, I assume.
Okay.
And they wear trench coats, and they just open their trench coat, and there's their penis.
Penis.
Okay, penis, right. This is like the equivalent of that guy not only opening his coat and showing his penis, but him
rubbing his
also
nipples.
jerking it off.
Oh.
Right, but it was like there's a difference between here are my nipples and here are my nipples and I am now stimulating them. That's what the squirrel was doing, and I kind of wish I got the picture and then I could run up and kick it. Like, not in my name.
Well, and your roommate came in the other day. Your roommate came in the other day, and he was like, "Guys, a squirrel just jumped off my leg and up the wall."
Oh my god, dude, that was just yesterday,
Holy shit.
right?
No, it was like
Was
2
that
days
yesterday
ago.
or was that Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay, either way. He came in and he was freaking out. He was like, dude, a squirrel just used my leg as a trampoline. And I'm like, what? He goes, I walked outside and I hear the scratching noise to my right. And I look to my right and a squirrel is just hauling ass at me. And it jumps onto my leg and then from my leg to the ceiling and just gets onto the roof of the building. I was like, dude, they're ballsy now, man.
I saw one
They aren't afraid of us anymore.
I saw one do a flip off a tree the other day, like, after Steven had told me that. It was this past week. I mean, he told me that then, it was either that day or yesterday, and it just bounced off a tree and did a backflip. And I was like, what the hell? Like, they are getting so powerful and so agile, it's ridiculous. We have
They're
to
making
watch out.
they're making YouTube videos now.
Yeah.
They're like little how awesome are squirrels videos compilation part 1.
Yeah, they're the ones making those stupid things. So guys, keep an eye out for squirrels. They are dangerous creatures now. I'm still, I'm still leading the anti-squirrel war and campaign. So if you want to join that, follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Twitter. And,
Hashtag behead the squirrels.
Hashtag behead the squirrels. And we need to take down this fascist empire.
Agreed.
So, next up, we have some advice. So what the advice is how to be more productive. And I have my answer for this. I don't know about Ben.
Oh, I have mine.
Here's my answer. This is going to sound really stupid, but I'll explain. I think it's all about self-discipline. From my personal experience. Whenever I'm more self-disciplined, as in, like, I schedule myself and stick to my schedule, and not necessarily like, 9 o'clock, I will clean my room. 10 o'clock, I will, take a poop. No, I'm talking about, when you take something out, have
In your
discipline
daily
to put it-
planner, you have 10 o'clock, take a poop.
Yeah, I'm saying, if you take something out, put it back where you found it. Small things, things like, I'm going to go to the gym every day. Things like, I'm going to go to bed at a certain time. Just having self-discipline, getting what you need to do done. I mean, it's really simple, and it sounds like I'm kind of skirting around the real answer, but that's it. It's just learn self-discipline.
Right.
If you have, if whatever your spirituality is, whether it's, Christianity, Islamic, New Age, whatever it is, take part in that. Have self-discipline in your spirituality and your path to enlightenment, however that is, and, have physical discipline, mental discipline, and it all kind of helps reinforce the other until you have a very peaceful and disciplined lifestyle. And you're productive because of that. That's mine. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Alright, cool. So, mine is, you find a friend who's already productive, and you start doing shit with them. Because if you don't have that friend, you're fucked. That's my life. I mean, I'm gonna sit on my couch and watch Netflix until about 11 o'clock at night while I have an exam tomorrow morning at 8, and I'm just gonna put on several 100 pounds, and because I'm lazy, man. Until recently, I never studied. I never studied. I didn't do my homework until the last second. And what saved me from that is our friend Brenna Happy that we met recently, who is an absolute. She studies all the time. Does all that stuff.
It's a little bit annoying. I'm just kidding.
It's a pain, but it saves my life. Like, I mean, seriously, guys, I never studied. I think the last time I'd studied was probably like just elementary school. You have the spelling test tomorrow, so I had to learn how to spell there, and
I used to be a spelling champion.
Oh, me too. Except I wasn't.
Then we got past Caterpillar, and I just kind of.
I still can't spell that. Anyway, so So recently, we met Brenna, and she's like, "Oh, I study all the time," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to do that." She's like, "Okay, well, come study with me." I was like, "Fine." So I did, and I was trying to talk to her, and she's like, "Study." I was like, "Whoa, okay." And guys, now I'm
Damn,
studying every day, and I study with a partner, but my grades are going up. I'm studying all the time, and it's weird because at first it's tough. You're like, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever," but it's starting to become habitual, to where you don't want to
it feels
study,
good.
but when you do, it's not really it. No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
You're a
when
liar.
you get it done, like
Not for
it's
me.
you're weird.
No, dude. When I get done, I'm like, thank God, I don't gotta pull my hair out anymore. But that's not to say it's not worth it. It is worth it.
It's
But, I mean,
rewarding.
Dude, I don't know. I get it done, and I don't dread it like I used to. Now I'm kind of like, all right, let's just get this out of the way, and then I'll be done. But that's my advice. You have a friend that is productive. If you don't have a friend that's productive, find a new friend, or you're fucked. Always.
Yeah, the people you surround yourself with, you become those people. That's
Truly.
essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they become you. I mean, it's kind of give and take in that you'll pick up characteristics, and you want to pick up a self-disciplinary characteristic from who you surround yourself with. I mean,
Agreed. Yeah.
I've been around people who are lazy, who are productive, and every time, depending on who I'm around, depends on how I behave and how, I act in my day-to-day life. So parents aren't wrong when they say you need to pick your friends wisely.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much our advice on how to be more productive. We're gonna go ahead and hop into the third topic, which is parkour.
Oh, sweet. My favorite.
Alright guys, so parkour, if you don't know what it is, I'm not gonna tell you, just go look it up and Google it, really. There's no point in explaining it. Just look up parkour.
No, dude, it's so easy. No, parkour is
point A to point B as cool as possible.
No, and bullshit. Parkour is like the martial art of running away, basically.
If you frequently run, do you frequently run from the police?
Okay. Basically, parkour it's putting use to your environment in movement. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what is the fastest way I could climb this wall, or the fastest way to get from point A to point B on foot? And I mean, that's basically it. And of course, this involves a simple, let me just jump over this fence, to let me do a triple helix backflip, 360 time dimension split,
Yeah,
and
just
then
kinda
land in
flop
China.
over the wall.
That's all it is. But can you do it is the question of the day.
I will say this. I cannot do it like Assassin's Creed style.
I can.
I used to joke around and try to do it. Like, I'd get on top of things and jump off of them and stuff, and that was fun. But I'm
Right.
not, like, you go to YouTube, I'm nowhere near that. Like, I can climb a fence.
I'm no Damian Walters, that's for sure.
I can climb the fence. I've ran from the cops a couple times,
Oh, yikes.
That's about the extent of that. And I didn't run because I did anything wrong. I ran because I was afraid that they would find something wrong with what I've done. I don't...
They were like, "Hey, Sonny," and he would just bolt.
Yeah, it's not that I was committing crimes. It's that I didn't want to accidentally commit a crime in the presence
It's just
of an
Jacob
officer.
looked a little methy.
Yeah, I didn't sleep that much.
Tackle him.
They're like, "Oh God, it's an addict! Get him!" That's exactly. I'd be like crying in my car, and they'd go, "Oh God, we got another drinker," and I'd be like, "Oh!" and I'd have to swerve off and
Just
get
put
away.
it in first and go.
I haven't been drinking. I just like bolt for it and get away from them because I'm like, nope, not gonna deal with it. I don't care if I look like I'm crying. I don't care if my brake light's out. I don't want to deal with you. But what about you, Ben? Can you? I mean, yeah, we can do it. We do it on campus all the time.
Oh yeah. No, I used to try to parkour. I mean,
Excuse me.
I could never do the flips and stuff. But I mean, as far as running, climbing, and jumping off of high objects and stuff, I was actually pretty good at that. I mean, I used to climb on top of houses and just leap. And now I would never do that because I'd break my legs because I'm heavy as hell. But like years ago,
so
dude,
sad.
I used to be in shape, I guess, in comparison to what I am now. I would
There's
say in shape.
different. There's difference
I mean,
between being
no, I
fit
used to-
and in shape.
Okay, like we had a patio cover, and I would climb the columns, and all they were just rectangular prism columns and made of wood, and I would just grab one end, and then I'd pull, and then push with my feet, and it would just create a pressure so I could climb up, and then I would jump from that and grab onto the outer edge of the actual cover, and it was basically, I mean, it was built. It wasn't like the oh my gosh, what were those things called way back in the day that were popular for some reason? They were just, you
Was it
put them
house
over your
decoration?
kinda, and it just blocked the sun. It was called
Balcony.
no, dude, it's called sun something. Like there's
The
advertisements for it.
sunroof.
Never mind. Anywho, I was climbing up this. I would climb up the column, and then the actual cover itself was about a foot, maybe a foot and a half away from the column, like as far as outward goes. So I did have to jump back and grab that and then pull myself up, and I used to do that. And then I would go put my back against the house, so I had about 10, 15 feet of sprinting space before I had to jump. And there was one time I just full sprint and like jumped off that thing. But unfortunately for me, about like 3 feet before I had to jump, I started to chicken out, so I slowed down, which is not good. You cannot do that when you're about to jump off
it's
something
all about
high.
momentum.
Oh yeah, like
And
that's what
directing it. I mean,
keeps you safe. But it was too late for me to just not jump, so I leaped, and I kind of hit the ground really hard. But luckily for me, like the thing I was best at is the recovery roll that takes a lot of the pressure off the landing.
God.
So I did that, and I walked out with a sprain, but it was still so awesome. Like the adrenaline was there, so I didn't feel it until about 10 minutes later, and I couldn't walk anymore. But it was so cool. But now, I mean, the coolest thing I do is I come from class and I jump onto a 6-inch curb and just shout really loud on campus, "Yeah!" with Jacob in front of like 200 people. And they
Only
all
a
just look
couple
at us
think
like
it's funny.
we're... No, nobody thinks it's funny. I
We've had a
think the
couple
people...
of-
No, the people who laugh are like, "Oh my god, I just saw that," and I really hope they don't realize I saw that. And they're just trying really hard not to
You
get
know what's
caught.
funny? Going off that, people judging us for that stuff. Like, we do stupid shit on campus. Well, someone came up to us on Back to the Future Day, and they go, "What year is it?" And I mean, I was just an ass to this guy. I was like, 2015, dude. Okay. And he's like, "Great Scott, it worked." And we just keep walking. Like, shut up, you're
so
not funny.
mad. It wasn't funny at all. He was holding like a longboard.
Yeah,
First off,
he thought he was
wrong.
cool. He thought he was
And
cool.
he wasn't even dressed like Marty. And then the dude that was pretending to be Doc was just a guy in a blue plaid shirt and jeans. Like he wasn't even. He didn't have
He had a
makeup on.
fake can
He
of
didn't have white
Copenhagen in
hair.
his back pocket.
Wow.
An empty can of Copenhagen his dad used in his back pocket.
Dude, it was stupid, and it was. I realized I was just like, screw off, man. Like I was so annoyed with this guy just being stupid. And then we take like 5 feet, and I turn to Jacob, and I'm like, wow, that's what people think.
Yeah, that's what people think of us.
Because we do stupid shit like that every day in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah, but those guys are obviously, like, they were trying. It's not like we go, "Oh, let's make this person laugh." We're just walking, and then we're like, "Oh shit, we gotta get this curb." Yeah!
Yeah,
People
we
go,
just.
"Where did that come from?" Like, this guy approached us like he was gonna kill us. I was
Oh,
about
yeah.
to post up and knock him out.
But dude, this guy actually looked so distraught. Like he looked so upset.
I thought he was on
or
drugs. I
freaked
was
out.
like, I do not want to have to
no,
hit another meth head.
He was
in my
sweaty. His
lifetime.
hair was messed up. Straight up looked like he just took a hit of something that made him trip.
Yeah. So, that being said, I mean, would you put in the work to become a parkour master?
Dude, I would love to, but I mean, I'm also bad at being physically active.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I could go to my first lesson today. I'll just wait till 5 years.
No, it's more like, all right, guys, we're running today, and I
No.
just get to go. Wait a sec, but I have a bed in my room. Why would I
Yeah.
run?
I have a bed and Panda Express.
Oh, that's right, and also Sikkim Delivery, which is literally if I'm too lazy to go get food, I pay someone at Baylor to go buy food, pick it up for me, and then bring it to me.
It's so bad.
Soon I'm just going to give them my ID card and my code, so I don't even have to leave the bed. They can just enter the house and then give it to me and then leave.
Pay them extra. Well, if I had the time and I had the the money to pay someone,
And
I
also the
would go-
determination.
I think I have the determination if I had the resource to do it.
Right.
Like if I was paying for a lesson, I would go. I'd go
Yeah, I
do it
mean,
because
I
I
would
like
totally want
I
to.
like
I think
being
that'd be
fit.
so much
I
fun.
like working out. I enjoy physical activity. I would do it if I had the means and time to.
Yeah,
If
same
If
here.
it was reasonable, I would go for it. That's not saying that I would be some world-class parkour person, but I'd
Right.
mainly want to do it for the physical fitness aspect, not just to look cool. Like, I'd
Right.
do it for the art form.
I mean,
rather
dude,
than
it's a lot
I
of
wanna
fun.
Be a badass and get all these girls.
My friend Austin and I used to climb around and do stuff like that all the time, dude. It's a
just
blast.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for topic 3. What about you?
I know, that's all I got to say about it.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jacob.
I'm Ben.
And also, thanks for subscribing to us on iTunes and SoundCloud, as well as following the show on Twitter at morningjoe_show.
You guys have a great Monday and a fantastic week.
And this was Morning Joe.